Hey, take a picture. Take a picture, please, please. Oh my God, I love you, bro.
My son telling you that you
Bro,
will be
yes,
here.
bro. Hey, I love you, bro. Ronaldo, I'm a big fan, bro. Ronaldo, look. I got you right here. Hey, wait, Suey. Ronaldo, Suey. Ronaldo, Suey.
Speed, watch this. Bro, I am tired of watching messy, shitty highlights.
Class is the touch of the season.
Genius! That's
Damn.
the word you can't use!
Nah, I'm tripping. Yo, this nigga, Ronaldo better! Sorry, nigga! What you mean?
In just a blink of an eye, a kid from Ohio flipped his whole life upside down. IShowSpeed went from being a total unknown to a household name, pulling in more than 24 million YouTube subscribers and streaming live to crowds bigger than a packed stadium. 1 minute, he was just another teen yelling into a mic. The next, he was a global sensation, one of the most watched streamers in the entire world. People couldn't get enough of his wild energy, the chaotic screams, the over-the-top reactions, the unpredictable stunts that made every stream feel like it could explode at any second. To Gen Z, he wasn't just a gamer, he was a brand new kind of superstar. Funny, fearless, and completely unfiltered. But here's the twist. That same chaos that made him go viral also pulled him into the shadows. The hype machine turned into a scandal machine, and suddenly Speed wasn't just that funny dude online, he was the headline magnet for all the wrong reasons. Clips spread of him making sexist comments, wild behavior that critics slammed as harassment, and shocking moments that had parents, platforms, and media outlets up in arms. YouTube and Twitch didn't just side-eye him, they hit him with bans, demonetization, and the kind of punishments that could ruin a streamer's bag forever. His audience loved the madness, but the more he cranked it up, the more he pushed himself into dangerous territory where the line between entertainment and recklessness blurred completely. Why does a kid with blazing talent keep tossing himself headfirst into controversy like it's a game he can't stop playing? Is IShowSpeed just crushed under his own creative pressure? Or is he the ultimate example of a streaming generation chasing toxic clout no matter the cost? Millions who once screamed his name in chat are now side-eyeing him in disappointment. And that fall from grace tells a deeper story. Speed first jumped on the streaming grind back in 2017, hopping on YouTube Live with the kind of energy that hit different. His go-to games, NBA 2K, Fortnite, and Five Nights at Freddy's, weren't new, but his delivery, nobody had seen anything like it. While other streamers kept things calm and steady, Speed was a walking explosion.
What? Is a talking to me? Is a female talking to me? Am I, yo, no, am I tripping? Am I tripping? Oh, wait, time out. Is a female talking to me right now? Is a fucking female talking to me? Get off the fucking game and do your husband dishes. Shut up.
His over-the-top meltdowns, sudden emotional outbursts, and unfiltered back and forth with viewers had people hooked instantly. He didn't just play, he performed. His now iconic "See you" shout out to Cristiano Ronaldo became a rally cry across TikTok and Twitter. Clips of him screaming through horror games or losing his mind during FIFA matches turned into memes that spread like wildfire on Reddit. People couldn't get enough because every stream felt raw, unpredictable, and larger than life. In one interview clip, Speed himself laid it bare. "I never fake it on camera. What you see is the real me. I can't control my emotions when gaming, and I think that's why people love watching." That confession hit hard because it explained exactly why his brand skyrocketed. The chaos wasn't manufactured, it was real. His unrestrained antics made him the king of viral clips, clocking in millions of views within hours. Comments everywhere hyped him up with lines like "Speed is pure energy." Man, this dude had the internet in a chokehold. Fans couldn't get enough of him. Every stream felt like a wild roller coaster, and the community's obsession blasted IShowSpeed straight into stardom. By the end of 2021, his YouTube channel was sitting on over 10 million subscribers, with live streams pulling in a jaw-dropping 200,000 to 500,000 viewers at once. That's not just a stream, that's a stadium crowd tuning in from their bedrooms. Each time he went live, hundreds of thousands locked in, waiting for the next chaotic explosion, the next meme-worthy freakout, the next legendary catchphrase. His audience didn't just tolerate the madness, they worshipped it. Speed wasn't just building a fan base, he was building a whole culture, complete with Ronaldo cosplay skits, viral screams, and moments that instantly got clipped and shared across TikTok, Twitter, and Reddit. To Gen Z, he became the ultimate icon of no-filter living, the guy who said and did whatever he felt in the moment. Free emotional expression, unlimited hype, and raw unpredictability made him stand out in a world of polished, fake influencers. He wasn't just entertainment, he was a movement. But here's the dark flip side nobody saw coming. The same wild energy that made him a legend also pushed him straight into controversy. What fans thought was just funny chaos slowly started crossing into dangerous territory. By December 2021, the first massive scandal hit, and it wasn't just a meme-worthy slip-up. It was ugly, serious, and it exposed how far Speed was willing to go without realizing the weight of his platform. The scene went down during a Valorant livestream with tens of thousands watching live. Speed was matched with random teammates, and when a female gamer on his squad clapped back at his gameplay and his non-stop commentary, Speed lost it completely. Instead of brushing it off, he went nuclear, screaming into the mic in a meltdown that shocked viewers across the world. The second the words left his mouth, the stream's energy flipped. What started as a rage moment turned into something far uglier, a sexist rant that carried the message, women don't belong in gaming. Speed, just 17, sat at his desk in a plain t-shirt, face red, pounding the table as he screamed into the mic. Some loyal fans laughed it off as Speed being Speed, but the wider community didn't buy it. Female gamers especially blasted him, flooding social media with comments like, "That's not okay," and "Respect women, man." The clip went viral within hours, spreading across TikTok, Reddit, and Twitter. Memes popped up mocking his outburst, with the hashtag IShowSpeed's sexist trending worldwide. Mainstream outlets jumped in too, slamming him as toxic and disrespectful. While female streamers spoke out, this is exactly the kind of behavior that drives women out of gaming. It's 2021, not 1950. Then came the hammer. Riot Games stepped in fast. They didn't just slap him with a suspension, they banned him permanently from all their titles, including Valorant and League of Legends. The ban was brutal. Riot Games barred Speed from playing or streaming any of their titles on any platform. For a high-profile streamer, it was one of the harshest punishments ever handed down. Gaming news outlets went wild, blasting headlines like IShowSpeed banned from Valorant after sexist rant. Once again, the community split in two. Some die-hard fans defended him, saying he was just joking or reacting in the heat of the game. Others pushed for a full boycott, spreading the hashtag #boycott IShowSpeed. It never reached viral heights, but it piled on pressure that kept Speed in the hot seat. The bigger question hit hard. How could someone with such a massive platform speak so recklessly, like consequences didn't exist? Had the fame already warped his self-control? When the world waited for accountability, Speed fumbled. Instead of delivering a clear apology, he brushed it off. "It was just a joke. I didn't mean it. People are overreacting." He insisted he wasn't targeting anyone, just mad at the game. But those excuses fell flat. For millions of young fans watching his every move, the lack of remorse was louder than the rant itself. Critics said it exposed a dangerous blind spot in his judgment. He didn't take time to reflect. He didn't learn how to own mistakes. He doubled down and charged forward, almost treating outrage as part of the show. And the wildest part, his career didn't tank. Just months later, his YouTube channel exploded past 15 million subscribers. This exposed a cold reality. A huge slice of Speed's fan base didn't care how bad his behavior got as long as he kept them entertained. But if he thought he could ride that wave forever, he was wrong. Dead wrong. From that moment on, every move was under a magnifying glass. Platforms and critics were watching closely, ready to call every slip-up proof of immaturity, or even worse, flat-out disrespect. If the Valorant scandal was just the alarm bell, then what went down in August 2024 was the explosion that shattered his image. This time, Speed didn't just stir outrage with reckless words. He dove into life-threatening chaos. Even YouTube, a platform that had let his antics slide for years, couldn't ignore what happened. The mask of crazy entertainer had slipped into something darker. It was no longer performance. It looked like Speed had lost control of the very persona he built. Viewers who once laughed now watched in shock, realizing they might be witnessing a disaster unfold in real time. It happened in Los Angeles. Speed went live with his mic in hand, screaming, hyping, his energy off the charts. Then, out of nowhere, he ran straight into the middle of a busy street. Cars flying by, Lamborghinis, Ferraris, engines roaring past at deadly speeds. And there he was, spinning, dancing, and jumping between lanes like it was a stage show, while hundreds of thousands watched live. One viewer called it cinematic but deadly. And that was exactly the vibe. Tires screeched, brakes slammed, horns blared, yet Speed just laughed louder, daring the chaos, egging on his audience, as if danger itself was part of the content. The cameras caught it all. Speed dodging a red Ferrari by mere inches, his body just a breath away from disaster. The moment lasted seconds, but it was enough to send even his most loyal fans into panic. Chat lit up with desperate pleas. "This is too dangerous," and "Stop before you get killed." But Speed wasn't listening. He doubled down, lying flat in the middle of the road before springing up and laughing like it was all part of the show. The clip went viral instantly, pulling in over 5 million views before YouTube yanked it down after a flood of user reports. But by then, the damage was done. The backlash was brutal, louder than anything he'd faced before. Even fans who defended him during the Valorant scandal started backing away. Comments poured in, "He deserves a permanent ban." And this is what happens when recklessness runs unchecked. One longtime supporter summed it up perfectly. "I used to love Speed's energy, but now I'm just worried." That shift in tone said it all. The fan base that once fueled his rise was now questioning his every move. YouTube couldn't let it slide. They struck hard, suspending his channel for 2 weeks and citing the promotion of dangerous behavior that could cause serious injury or death. For a platform that had tolerated him for years, it was a wake-up call. But instead of apologizing, Speed went defiant. He brushed it off as misunderstanding, claiming, "I was just playing my streaming persona." Then he fired off a tweet that poured gasoline on the fire. "YouTube's trying to silence me because I'm too real for them." The headlines were merciless. "Young streamer risks life for views," splashed across news sites, while the hashtag IShowSpeed's trended alongside mocking memes like "Speed racing with death." But the loudest sting wasn't from the trolls. It came from the quiet disappointment of those who once adored him. The kid who rose as a symbol of joy and raw energy had turned into a warning sign for recklessness and irresponsibility. Yes, his channel came back after the 2-week suspension, but the scars didn't fade. He lost millions of genuine fans who felt betrayed, while sponsors and brands shut their doors completely. Every platform tightened its grip, watching his every move. And through it all, Speed still refused to take accountability. No apology, no reflection, just more lashing out at his critics, creating a cycle of hostility that only dug his hole deeper. The fallout wasn't just about numbers, it was about trust. The one thing you can't buy back. Fans who once celebrated him with memes now flooded comments with lines like, "I miss the old Speed." They didn't walk away because he made mistakes. They walked because he never tried to fix them. Instead of growth, he blamed haters and jealousy, throwing away the authenticity that made him shine in the first place. What was once a story of inspiration became a symbol of self-destruction. Speed's name no longer inspired laughter. It triggered unease. He proved what too many young creators face. Fame without maturity and ethics is a ticking time bomb. The industry made millions off his chaos. But when things spiraled, YouTube, Twitch, TikTok, where were they? Who stepped in to guide or protect? In the end, Speed's downfall wasn't just his story. It became a wake-up call for the digital age. Talent will get you the spotlight, but without discipline and responsibility, that same light will burn you alive. His legacy is no longer the laughs. It's the cautionary tale of how quickly fame can flip into a nightmare. If you made it this far, sound off in the comments. Do you think Speed can ever make a comeback, or is it over for him? Make sure to like, share, and subscribe if you want more deep dives like this.